Hey everybody. Thanks for the invite, Paul and Busy. So I'm gonna read a poem. I wrote it actually on the way here on the subway. 17 stops to Metamorphosis. 17 stops, Broadway Station. Riding the red rocket to outer space. Hyde Park, Ossington, Bathurst, and Spadina. A time capsule and benevolence is secure. The poets are writing 4 and 5 line quatrains. The pessimists are writing haiku, and the opposites are writing love notes with pen on paper and little black books. I'm an opposite. I'm on the way to the Liars Club, gonna try and recite some sexy drivel, gonna try and disguise my hidden smile under these crimes of high anxiety. When I get there, my destination will salute me with a glass of courage to never surrender all that I am. 4 stages of a butterfly's metamorphosis: eggs, larva, pupa, and adult. I had to look that shit up on Google. I'll be quick. So I'm going to read this poem. This is about the Kentucky Derby that went by on May 4th. It's called Cocaine and Coffee. Cocaine and coffee. Before it was Percocets and double rock stars. Driving a $1.20 down Bathurst Street, grabbing a rabbi's blessing. Now I bless myself after the 20th sneeze as my schnoz gets unclogged from this morning's nosebleed. Right side nostril is open for business, usually. With the casual, swaggering sway of nostalgia. If they call you a degenerate gambler, take it as a compliment, because sarcasm is made for the feeble-minded, and as such, similarities differ ever so lightly. It's like procrastinating in a game of Scrabble. Those in the known still use a dictionary and thesaurus, not a Google search. The presumptuous prerequisite between a troubadour and an educated fool is that one uses made-up words while the other forgets how to spell them out loud. May 4th is just around the corner. Broke out the Capital One credit card. Maxed it out with a 20 grand superfecta bet. If it hits, I'll be styling profiling like Ric Flair. Whoop friggin' yeah, baby. And it didn't hit. I'm gonna just do 2 more real quick ones. It's called a Wild Hearts Moment. Had a little birdie land on my coffee lid. She dropped a turd of bird feed on the table. It was such a touching moment in time. She flew off. I took a sip of Joe and continued my thoughts of passion for her presence. With a few scribbled words into my portable typewriter. Ah, geez, tumbles towards nirvana. I contemplate existence with the aftertaste of an Americana on my tongue. My drive up Yonge Street, I'll play the radio at full volume listening to the golden oldies, and I'll smile from the passing friendship of harmony. All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you very much. Would you please welcome Jennifer Venner?
Thank you. After all the stuff that was said about, women not being writers, all the women I know are writers. I think it seems to be, and all the writers I know are women. So I'm reading a paragraph. I am not a poet. I am an author. I have written a book. I am doing a master's in creative writing. And this is the thing that I'm working on. The morning after the party, I awoke in a strange bed with a man whose face was dimly illuminated in Moscow's weak December light. I recognized Klaus, the party's host. He could have been any man, and I would be just as shocked to find myself in bed with him because he was not my husband. Klaus faced me with his upper body. His upper body was naked, and his right hand was under his cheek. And I thought how childlike that was. His mother must have watched him sleep like that. His other hand lay on my neck, his fingers in my hair. My mouth felt bruised by kisses. When I removed his hand, he murmured and sighed, then blinked once, twice, looked at me. His eyes were very blue, and the very first thing I noticed about him when we met at the Danish embassy a week ago. "Good morning," he said, with the same gracious smile that greeted the crowd of expats in a ballroom, where he'd worn a suit and shook everyone's hand and spoke English and Danish and Russian. Now his smile was just for me. He kissed my forehead. I drew aside the blanket to reveal him in nothing but underwear. Maybe he'd put them back on after we'd made love. Maybe he never took them off. I placed my hand on his crotch. He lay his hand atop mine, then moved it away with the same courtesy he'd offered when lighting my cigarettes last night on his balcony, high above the Moscow River, cupping his hand around the flame against the bitter dark wind. "Your husband," he murmured. I turned and there lay Sergei, his back to us, his shoulder calm above the sheets. "He's asleep," I said. Klaus smiled again. "I will make you coffee," he said. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.